So with Brandy winning the special release from A. Smith Bowman, we took the Weiners and we went up to Virginia. How much is that puppy in the window? What's in? Hey, where you going? Hi, how's it going? My wife won that lottery thing with the bottle.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. All right. So this is the gift shop at A. Smith Bowman. It's a big sort of warehouse, and they have the gift shop over here on the left, and on the right is a big open area where I guess they do tasting, and then the bottling line behind some windows on the other side. So we had Oscar here, and he was running around biting stuff and being a general idiot, but gotta love him because he's super cute. And we brought Annabelle. Wiener, it was a Wiener trip. So yeah, they got the normal stuff most distilleries have, with glens and books and candles and all that other jazz. The whole facility here at A. Smith Bowman has a long history. Well, A. Smith Bowman does, back to 1927, but looks like they moved out to this place in Fredericksburg relatively recently. So yeah, and yeah, the gist of it is they get their stuff from Buffalo Trace because they're owned by Sazerac. They get their distillate and then they pot still it again, so it's triple distilled. So that's pretty interesting. Here's all their older special releases that they have done through the years. So they've done quite a few, and of course the Cask Strength and their standard stuff, which is their single barrels here, which I was tempted to get, but I didn't. And then they had their normal batch proof one, and they had the rum finished one, which was absolutely undrinkable, like real bad. But they did have one of the best bourbon cream, like, you know, Bailey's type things that I've ever had. They said it's because they use real milk or real dairy where other people don't, and that's why like Bailey's can be shelf stable for so long. But hey, here's some dog toys. So I got Oscar one, and of course Annabelle wanted one too because it squeaked. So we ended up only buying one, but there's a fake dog, a real dog and a fake dog. He just wants his barrel. So yep, one more toy to add to the million of toy collections these guys have got. He just did a barrel pick. He did a barrel pick.
You can have one too.
But I don't know if anyone wants one.
She wants one,
So the tasting was free. You got to taste their vodka, their cream, their bourbon cream, and their small batch, and their rum finished one, which, like I said, is not recommended. So yeah, it's a nice place and a good place to visit. And here's old Oscar. He likes to chew on his lead because he doesn't like to be controlled. He has a control issue, and he has a lot of issues. So this year's special release is about 12 years, 8 months old, 135 proof, nice looking color, nice looking bottle. So review coming up soon. But as you can see behind the bottle is the bottling line, and it would have been good to go on a tour and see their still and see what they do once they get the distillate in. They probably don't have any mashing and stuff here unless they started to do their own thing, but like I say, they get all their white dog from Buffalo Trace. So yeah, let's kick on through and go to the review. So the previous video probably showed you how about we went to get this guy. So let's open her up and see what she tastes like. So now let's just struggle bust this. that over there so Oscar does not eat it. Okay, so this is the Abraham Bowman Pioneer Spirit Special Straight Bourbon Whiskey. So this one is their Oak Series, American Oak, release 24, bottle 609. Distilled in 1/18/12, bottled 9/20/24, and proof 135. So yeah, so it's basically, what's that? 12 years. 12 years. So, oh, let's get a bit of liquid on that, guys. Tight. Oh, America. So yeah, let's pour some of this bad boy. Oh, it pours pretty viscous. Like the look of that. Really nice color on that. Not too dark, but just really nice. Looks super oily from the initial oiliness. So yeah, so Colonel Abraham Bowman commanded the 8th Virginia Regiment, one of the most outstanding fighting units in the American Revolutionary War. He moved his family to Kentucky in 1779 and was among the earliest settlers. Bowman was active in politics and elected to the first bench of justices in Lincoln County, Kentucky, after he represented Fairfield County in Kentucky Constitutional Convention. Colonel Abraham Bowman was the great-grandfather of Abraham Smith Bowman, founder of A. Smith Bowman Distillery. This limited edition whiskey honors Colonel Abraham Bowman. So yeah, let's let this guy sit here, and then we've got the Cask Strength, which we'll follow it up with. So the story of this is it is distilled by Buffalo Trace. Now, whether it's their own mash bill, whether it's Mashbill 1, whether it's Mashbill 2, I've heard all different stories. Their story is their own mash bill, or possibly a combination of 1 and 2 in different levels. But regardless, the white dog that comes from the distillate from Buffalo Trace is then put through their own pot still. So not 100% sure on the proofs that they get it at. I would say the proof that probably comes over from Buffalo Trace is the standard, 125 legal maximum that Mashbill 1 and 2 come out at. And then they put it through their pot still and probably boost it up. But you think it wouldn't go up too high. But definitely has that Buffalo Traceness to it. I've always found that on most of the Bowmans. Now, does it smell like straight from the barrel, or does it smell like Stag? No. But anyway, let's not go down that route just yet. Let's do that with this one, because this one was special. That was done last year. They did a French oak one. This year is the American oak. But yeah, on the nose, it's got that really cherry, like a really dark, sweet cherry. And a bit, Oscar. So Oscar's gonna squeak a ball, but you gotta do what you gotta do. A lot of brown sugars and sweetness on that. Definitely a bit of ethanol, but not nothing that's not blowing my nose off or anything like that. It smells really good. Might have to cut here to stop the squeaker. Here's the squeaking culprit. You've learnt from your sister that you love these balls. Caruso Celebrity Dashhound balls, and they love them, but they fucking love them. Annabelle loves them. He now loves them, so you're gonna hear a lot of squeaking. So yeah, really nice on the nose, sweet sugars, lots of sweet cherry, sort of a typical, really nice Buffalo Trace nose to it. Let's give it a go. Really oily initial mouthfeel. Lots of brown sugar on that. A little bit of vanilla, but all brown sugar and vanilla. Man, that's pretty fucking good. That is good. Yeah, I don't know if you can see the legs on that guy, but they are just hanging out there, man. That is thick. That's thick and oily and really good. Man, that's a good one. So the proof is, like I said, It's 135, and you can feel it. It's not. It's like good proof should be, you know, long finish, nice Virginia hug. So yeah. So okay. So that's just really good. That's a really good bourbon right there. Give it to A. Smith Bowman. That's a banger. Great mouthfeel, great nose, sweet, really dark cherries and stuff like that. Hint of vanilla. I wouldn't say caramel. It really is like a brown sugar, but it's really sweet. And it's a good one. If I'm going to give that a rating, I'm going to say that is going in. That's definitely going in the top 10. I'm probably going to have to do like a top 15 blind and see which one comes out of the top 10, but that is definitely in the top 15 blind for the end of the year. Okay, so let's move on to the Bowman. Let's wash my glass and try the Cask Strength. Okay, so on to the Cask Strength. Ooh. So this one is 135, which is, no, it's 135.1. So this is 135, 135.1. So basically this is Cask Strength, obviously. Get a little bit wet. These guys have some, oh, America. Got a real cork, but man, she's a good one. So this one's 9 years, so not the 12 years of the other guy. Just off initial pour, doesn't quite look as viscous. Color, possibly not as deep. No, definitely not as deep. Oh, nose is a lot more muted. Coming off of that one, this nose is far superior. This one's still good, but same notes, just dialed down. Not as much of the dark cherries and the fruit notes, but still got a lot of sweetness. A little bit more ethanol coming through. I think you can sort of tell it's a little bit younger. But not too bad. Definitely legs aren't sticking as much as the special release. But still, oh geez, went around. I got a few reviews to do. I'm going to Oregon next week, so I got to get some reviews out this weekend or today. So yeah, that's really good. Let's try it. That one's really good. Once again, not as much flavor, but man, that's easily drinkable. That's very drinkable. That is more crushable than this one, put it that way. For 135.1 proof, that is good. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put that up against straight from the barrel and the Stag and see which one is most likely. But man, so anyway, tasty notes. A lot of sweetness, back maybe more to the caramel types, caramel sweetness. Just a lot less fruits and a lot less going on, but still very delicious. And it's another good one. And these have become pretty available in this last little drop we had. I may have overpaid a little bit for this one because I've seen them a little bit cheaper, but it's all about how many hours you go spend in line, right? And I didn't really have to spend that long. So anyway, that's a good one. Let's not go too far and let's put this guy away. Banger, totally one of the top 10 of the year, well up there. I don't know where it's going to come, but that's a very special bottle. This one, just off first taste, I don't think it's going to make the grade, only because, and this guy's in, you know, like I'm going to have to put him, I'm going to have a think about my top 15 and see if this guy makes it, but he might not make it, but this one definitely will. Okay, we're going to put my palate to the test. So, like I said, A. Smith Bowman, they get their stuff, they distill it from Buffalo Trace. Is it Mashbill 1? Is it Mashbill 2? Is it a combination of both? Is it their own special one? I don't think it's their own special one. I can't see Buffalo Trace specifically distilling a whole complete different mash bill for A. Smith Bowman. Now, don't get me wrong, they're all owned by Sazerac, so it's a possibility. I think, if anything, it's a mashup between the two. So, let me just adjust this camera up a bit. Whoa, yeah, yeah. No. I think it's a combination of both. This is batch 11 Stag, which is a little bit off profile, so that's probably not the best. This is like 130.6 proof, straight from the barrel Blantons, Mashbill 2, Mashbill 1, unknown Mashbill. So let's start with the Bowman. Very sweet, like I say, back to the thing. Very sweet. So maybe some slight tobacco notes on the back of that one, which is quite nice. Definitely get less on the nose on the Blantons, but still the similarities are there, the underlying similarities. That sweetness and that cherry. I'd say on the nose they're all very similar. I'd say on the nose they're all very similar. I do probably prefer the nose of the Bowman over the other two. Just a little bit more in the nose on the Bowman. But if I had to pick two that were the closest, I would say so far it's a Stag. So let's just have a little sip. Some water. Straight from the barrel. Blantons has definitely got a little bit of a different texture to it. And the Stag batch 11, they're all very good whiskies, but so far, and I'd say you can tell they're all similar, right? That's what a lot of people say, because the yeasts are the same, and I think this goes to show you how important yeasts are and how similar they make the same thing. So that was Bowman to Blantons. Let's try Bowman to Stag. Sweet brown sugars. More of a bite to the Stag. What's proof on? And the Stag's actually lower. There's a lot more bite to the Stag than the Bowman. And I'd say the one with the least bite, or the smoothest, you might say, is probably the Blantons. So, conclusions? None. All great whiskies. Can definitely see the lineage, and you can definitely tell that they have a lot in common. If I was to say, what is this the most like? Oh man, that's tough. You could convince me that this is a Stag batch. Like if you put this in the Stag bottle, or you told me that this was the latest, because they're all so different, right? Put it this way, I've had more different Stags. So 22B, 22A, 23C have been more different than these two are. So, and now, so that, could this be a Stag? Yes. Could this be a Blantons? I don't think as much, because Blantons has a, but it's picked as Blantons, right? So even if this is Mashbill 2, it's not Warehouse H. I'm not saying that that necessarily has to be Warehouse H, although they say it is, but possibly isn't. But it's just something about a Blantons that just screams Blantons, and that screams Blantons. And this doesn't scream Blantons. Maybe it does. I don't fucking know. Yeah, so let's just try a bit of this. Mashbill is about 50-50 in there. So this is just a 50-50 blend. Mashbill 1.5. I just think the nose on the Bowman is just incredible. You know what? That is by far the most similar. A 50-50 blend of Mashbill 1 and 2 is very close. For me, my palate, not the best. Take that with a grain of salt, but for me right now, that is way closer than either of those two. So maybe that's it. Anyway, so that is my A. Smith Bowman. This might be a long video with all the other stuff, depending on how much of that I put in, but great time. We had a trip up there, power tripped up there, turned around, came back. This one, Cask Strength, will definitely be in the end of the year giveaway. Special release, I don't know, might save that for a special time, because I don't know if you got, but I got a lot of samples going into this thing, and I know James has got quite a few too, so it's going to be a good giveaway. So definitely go and sign up, and if you want to become a member, you're way more likely to win with a membership. It is hard to join, don't get me wrong. Like, there is no, if you're on an iPhone right now, there's no button you can push. You have to go to a computer or an Android. That's where the join button is. Possibly they're on my lives, I don't know, but they don't make it easy because they don't want to give 30% to Apple. So that's the story behind that. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.